Growing up, I grew up in the church as well, Christian Baptist household, and church was our safe haven, our escapism, our solace against everyday society, when in fact it wasn't, until I just learned that recently. In fact, it wasn't. It was just a coping mechanism, a pacification for white supremacy. That's all it was. Family, you already know what it is. Chauncey, aka Ukarema GMOGMedia, with another GMOGMedia spotlight. All right, family, today's topic I want to talk about is the black church dying. All right, part in the background is kind of raining. Actually, my backyard is wet, so I'm actually on my patio right now, but I'm still putting in that information for the people. Anyway, family, before I start, once again, I am Chauncey, aka Ukarema GMOGMedia. I talk about issues that affect black people collectively as a group. I also talk about issues pertaining to systematic racism, which is white supremacy, and I offer my suggestions on how to replace that system of injustice, aka white supremacy, with the system of justice. So if you're new, please subscribe. So today's topic I want to talk about is the black church dying. All right. Now, my last video, I talked about the Negro Project 2016, which was an ideology and a concept that was created by Margaret Sanger, a white supremacist eugenicist. Okay. And she said something very profound, and it still is relevant till this day. She said the most educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. Why did she say that? Well, she said that because black people collectively as a group are the most religious people on the planet. Hands down, we are the most religious people on the planet. So the question is the black church dying? Absolutely not. It's still thriving. And as long as we have white supremacy, as long as white supremacy has things that creates poverty, which creates disenfranchisement, mistreatment, subjugation, etc., then our solace, okay, our safe haven will be towards religion, will be towards church. That's our solace. That's our escapism from white supremacy. Okay, like I said in my other video, poverty, we need to get rid of poverty ASAP, which is created by white supremacy. You go to our community, you see patterns and you see conditions in our community. What do you see? I've already talked about this before. You see food deserts. You see dilapidated buildings, impoverished schools, lack of resources, lack of jobs, drugs, crime, churches on every corner. Okay? Again, the churches nestled in these so-called black neighborhoods, these black communities, are safe havens against white supremacy, safe haven against the social ills of our community. Okay? White supremacy is the most powerful religion on this planet, as our brother Neely Fuller would say. White supremacy is the most powerful religion on this planet, hands down. So if you do not understand how white supremacy works, then nothing else matters. Nothing else will make sense to you. All right, family? And that's what I didn't understand until recently, because growing up, I grew up in the church as well, Christian Baptist household, and church was our safe haven, our escapism, our solace against everyday society, when in fact it wasn't, until I just learned that recently. In fact, it wasn't. It was just a coping mechanism, a pacification for white supremacy. That's all it was. Okay? So again, like I said, religion amongst black people collectively as a group, we are the most religious people on the planet, hands down. And there is a survey and statistical information that backs up my claim. All right, and I'll have it on the screen so you can see. From the Pew Research Center, okay, Religion and Public Life, there was a survey done between 2007 and 2012. Okay, and the survey among ethnic groups, whites, blacks, Asian, Latinos, etc., we had the highest, okay, the highest amount of people in these surveys for black people in terms of religious beliefs, practices, etc., etc. And I'm just going to go through a few of them so you understand what I'm talking about. So the survey, the first survey you see on the screen, belief in God by race, ethnicity. As you can see, whites, right, they have about 60%. Blacks, way above 75%. Okay, so if you see Asians, Latinos, others mixed, you see they have a lower percentage. All right, as you can see, blacks have the highest. Importance of religion in one's life by race, ethnicity. As you can see, whites have about 50%, blacks well above 75%, about around 76% or so. Asian, Latino, others mixed, much lower. All right, you got attendance at religious services by race, ethnicity. Once again, blacks leading that percentage. Whites about above 25%, blacks a little above 50%, or excuse me, a little below 50%. Asian, Latinos, and others mixed are lower. All right, frequency of prayer by race, ethnicity. Once again, blacks highest percentage, whites a little lower, Asian, Latinos, others mixed, lower. You know, and as you can see, family, the trend continues. Frequency of participation in prayer, scripture, study of religion, educational groups, race, ethnicity, etc. You see the percentage, family. I mean, we lead the charge on all of these surveys. Okay, we lead the charge on most or not all of these surveys, family. Just look at this stuff. All right, so again, black people collectively as a group, we are the most religious people on the planet. Until we know and understand that white supremacy is the only religion that matters, and once you realize that they control all 9 areas of activity, we have to come up with a code of conduct. We have to come up with ways to replace the system of racism, white supremacy, with a system of justice. All right, family? So these churches that are in these so-called black communities that are nestled into our communities, ask yourself, why are they there as comparison to more affluent communities? Okay, why is a church, a black church, right across the street from another black church, and they are not participating in solving the issue among jobs, lack of resources, crime? Why aren't these black churches that are right down the street or right across the street, that are not even affiliated with one another, why are they not working together collectively as a group, right? And also, you know, since the 1980s, the black church has collected over $420 billion, right? But white supremacy, systematic racism still exists to this day. So you got to ask yourself, why is there so many churches? Why do they collect all this money from tithes, offerings, and donations? But black people collectively as a group, we are on the bottom of the totem pole statistically in every social political category you can think of. Why is that? Simple, because of racism, white supremacy. Okay, family, once you understand that, once you know that, then the battle is to replace this system of racism, white supremacy with the system of justice. And again, going back to Margaret Sanger's quote, the most educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. Okay, we need to counter that, family. We need to counter that. Since the church is our solace, our safe haven against white supremacy, all of these black churches, we need to work together collectively as a group and work on ways to replace this system of racism, white supremacy with the system of justice. If they can't wake up, then the person that's watching this video, the person who has a like mind and understands racism, you need to work on doing that yourself and get other like-minded people to do that with you. That's the only way we can combat this system of racism, white supremacy with the system of justice. All right, family, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, family, Chauncey, aka Ukarema, Great Man of God Media, signing out.